Hey guys, how are you? It's Arthi and happy November. Hope y'all are doing great today. And in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about Sally Hansen nail polish, which is a first time for me. I've actually never used anything from Sally Hansen specifically, and I wanted to just give you a review and let you know what I think. And I'm sure some of you ladies use Sally Hansen, right? I mean, because it's kind of been around for quite some time. I don't know why I never noticed it, because previously I was just using the really cheap, ugly drugstore polish, which you know does not last for more than a week, maybe a few days if you're lucky. And so this is like a step up for me in the world of polish. And yeah, I should have bought this a long time ago, I think. Well, okay, anyway, so let me just start moving on with the video. And I will show you what the polish is first so you know what I'm talking about. This is the one that I picked up. This is called Extreme Hard as Nails, and the number is $2.99, and it's called Pucker Up. And you know what really surprised me about the whole Sally Hansen line of polishes when I went to the store is that their selection is so big. I mean, they have so many different options that it almost gets confusing because you don't know which one to choose. I mean, they have just regular run-of-the-mill everyday nail polish. They have this one that I picked up, and they have like gel polishes and ones with glitter, and it's like just enough to make your head spin. And I think I will go back and pick something else in the future, but for now I'm just starting with this one, or I'm gonna try to tackle this one and see what happens or what I can get out of it. All right, now let's see what's next. I made notes for this video so I don't mess up on anything. All right, now I'm going to start with, I guess, the color and the consistency and all that stuff, and then we can go on from there. Now, as far as the color is concerned, it is very true to how you see it right here in the bottle, because sometimes with certain nail polishes, when you open it up and you apply it to your nail, the color is not the same. It's like either too bright or it looks too dark or it's just completely off. But this one is not that way at all. I'm gonna just take the applicator brush out. I hope it works okay, because I don't want to drip it everywhere. So you see how the color is? It looks the same as, what you see on the outside. So there's really no difference as far as that's concerned. And then once you actually apply it, it looks very pretty. I actually have it on this nail right here. This is an accent nail, which is why I only painted this one and not my other fingers, because it was meant to kind of go together with my wedding band. It's, kind of like to highlight this finger specifically. And okay, so color is really good, so that gets a big thumbs up. Now, I guess let's just talk about the consistency for a minute, because that's something that really kind of threw me off with this. I would say this polish is not exactly for beginners. If you are experienced with applying nail polish and you've bought many different varieties, you'll probably be okay. But if you're like me, where I'm not very good at actually getting the nail polish on my finger and kind of keeping it like within, or keeping it on my finger itself and not having it like drip everywhere, you might find this one to be a bit challenging, because I'm going to open this so I can show you what I'm talking about. So see, or I'll just dip it. Oh no, now I'm making a mess. Okay, if I dip it back in and just kind of take it out, it's a little thick, the consistency, and it gets very messy very quickly, because when you take the brush out and just go straight to your nail with it and just start applying it, what happens is that it just starts to like run off of the nail, just because there's just so much liquid, and it'll just get so messy right away, and it'll start dripping. And of course, once it gets to that point, you can't control it. The only thing you can do is actually just take nail polish remover and just take the whole thing off and start all over again, which is what I had to do. And so that was something that just kind of threw me for a loop the first time. And what I realized, what you have to do is, when you take the applicator brush out, you have to kind of wipe it against the bottle neck first, and then start with small streaks and apply it to your nail, and then see how it goes from there. Now, if you're experienced, like I said, it probably won't be an issue. It's just hard if you don't know much about nail polish application to kind of judge the consistency sometimes, before you use it, which is what I had trouble with. And so just keep that in mind. If you're a beginner, that's just something that you should know about this specific polish in the Sally Hansen line. And I think that, as far as like that thick consistency is concerned, I know their reasoning behind it. I think they made it that way because it is meant to be extreme wear. So I am not exactly sure if it's meant to go on thick like that. So once it hardens, it'll be really tough and unbreakable and it'll just last for like 2 to 3 weeks. Or if you're just kind of supposed to use it and figure out how much of the polish you actually need, based on, I guess, how you want it to look or how long you want it to last, depending on what type of job you have and what you're doing every day. So that's just the one thing that I think I might be right about, but I'm not sure. I don't really know. Or maybe that's just the way the consistency is meant to be and they didn't really put much thought into it. I'm not sure. Okay, and then the next thing is, so once you get the polish on to your fingernails, I did notice that it took a really long time to dry. I counted, I think, about like 40 minutes, probably about 45 minutes. And after about 20 minutes, I did check the polish on my nail. I went like this just to see if it was dry. I tapped just very gently and it left like fingerprints on the nail polish. So I was like, oh, that's not a good thing. So it's not dry yet. And then I waited 10 more minutes. I checked again and it was starting to harden a little bit, but it kind of still had like that wet, clumpy kind of consistency, which was not good. And then by like the 40-minute mark, I was starting to get really frustrated because that's kind of a long time to have to wait for it to dry. And, a girl doesn't have much time these days. And then about 45 minutes later, it was completely dry. But even once it dried, it felt kind of weird. I could feel like this wetness on my fingernail. I know it sounds really gross, but it just was, I don't know, something was a little off about it. I wasn't sure, but it just didn't feel like it, I don't know. It just was strange. And I didn't really like that sensation. So that was another thing. One little drawback is that if you are going to use this, just keep in mind, you're going to have to give yourself plenty of time or, clear out like at least an hour of your time so you can let it dry up before you do anything. And then the next thing is like how long it will last. Well, I think that really depends on you. It depends on how active your lifestyle is and what you do for a job. I mean, if you have an office job and you're not really putting your hands through a lot of abuse, like say you're just typing on a computer every day and just, shuffling papers around, it will probably be just fine. But I work in a retail environment and I use my hands a lot. I mean, I'm always touching boxes, I'm always moving product around and things. And because of that, I just felt that for myself, it didn't last quite as long as I wanted it to, because if you could kind of see, I'll show you, I don't know if I can get my finger close enough, but at the bottom, it's like kind of chipping. And then there is like a chip right in the middle or a couple of spots where the polish has chipped off. And I just, was not too happy about that because this has been like for about a week that it's been on my fingernail. And I, don't think that if you have the type of job that I have, the nail polish will last all that long. I mean, this is starting to wear down. It's not looking so great right now at this point. And that's just something to consider because, if you do buy the polish, you want to make sure you're going to get your money's worth. You don't want to keep reapplying it over and over again because then you're going to be going through the bottle much faster. And, and I did also see the other thing was that by accident a couple of times I nicked the nail and in one tiny spot the polish came off. So it's not really, I guess, as extreme or as tough as they promise it to be. It will last, I think, if you just put the polish on and then you just don't touch your hands for like 2 weeks and you really reduce your hand washing and not, put too many soaps and things on it, it will be just fine for the long run. I'm sure of that. Probably you can get it to run for like about 3 weeks. Yeah, so So, all right, so I guess in conclusion, I would say that, all in all, it's really not a bad nail polish to buy. It's just the long lasting wear for myself, I just found wasn't really there, unless, of course, if you have like kind of I guess, a low key job where you're not using your hands much, it should be just fine. Then just, consistency in the actual application process might be tricky for some of you if you're not well versed in applying polish. And if that's the case, they do have other options, like I had said at the beginning of the video, that you could choose from. And they do have like a quick drying polish, which I haven't tried yet, but that might actually work a little bit better, if you're on the go and you don't have time to wait for things to dry. Or you could just try one of these too. This one that I bought. Did I show this at the beginning of the video? I don't even remember now. I think I'm starting to lose it. But this is just the average everyday polish. And this is one I bought several months ago. And it's clear, so you don't have to worry about anything coming off or looking bad if it starts to chip. So you could consider something like this. But, so, I mean, altogether, I would say this is not a bad choice. This is one of those polishes you would probably purchase, I think, just to kind of test out for yourself and to see what kind of result that you get, because it's, I think, specific to everyone, but yeah, but just, it's not too bad. Just give it a try and see what you think and let me know what your thoughts are. Or you could just go with just a regular everyday polish and then just, take it off and apply it on a weekly basis, which is fine for some people because, people like to change colors also. So that's always a good thing. And I think that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So please let me know your thoughts on Sally Hansen if you have any of her nail polishes. I want to say her because I feel like it's a woman behind all this, or like an actual person. So let me know what you think and hope you like the video. And as always, I love you guys and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.